Hello, Chris Williams, and I'm sure she did the introduction. This is my first time to your country, so thank you very much for having me. It's been a great experience. I think I'm gonna sit. So, yeah. Right here? Yeah. Okay, that's a little close. Okay. So, how's that? Can we, you can hear me, right? Okay, so, yeah, I guess I'm just going to tell you a little bit about myself and, my restaurant and where I come from. So I'm here on a food diplomacy program sponsored through the U.S. Embassy. It's a tour of the Balkans. It's 4 countries. I started off in Croatia, in Zagreb, and we started with the Route 66 festival, which was, Route 66 is the mother road of the States. And it was a celebration of all things American, and we wanted to tell the story through food as well. So I wrote the menu for the program in the States, planning it based on kitchens from the States that are equipped with fryers and ovens, and we use a metric system, or we don't use that, and we have Fahrenheit versus Celsius, and all these other wonderful things that I took for granted before I came, and we had to figure our way through it. And so we provided food for 2,000 people. We did ribs, we did fried chicken, we did fish tacos, and it was an overall success. And from there, I went on to Slovenia, which was a huge surprise, to go to Ljubljana, Maribor, and Naklo, I think the name of it was. And from there to Albania, and now this is my last stop, which is Serbia, as you all know. And it's what's been the most surprising thing from this experience is, one, I lived in Europe for 4 years, and I've had the experience of your food and all that, but I've never come to the Balkans. I've never experienced this. And I've been blown away by not only the hospitality that I've received since I've been here, but also the quality of the food out here. And the culinary scene is unlike any that I've ever experienced, and I've just been blown away by the talent that I've seen out here. The chefs that you have are absolutely amazing. The produce that you have is, the vegetables are of a quality that we're not used to in the States. We're a culture of mass production, and we're fighting now to get to where you are. And it's been amazing to really get involved and immerse myself in the culture. So that's been great. And the point of the food diplomacy program was there was several angles. One, of course, there was the Route 66 festival in Zagreb, but it was also about breaking borders through food, telling stories through food, and really a message of being an entrepreneur and what it takes, and not being afraid to fail and just power through all fears and barriers that you may have in your way. So in that sense, it's been a success. We've been to several culinary schools, spoke with plenty of students, gone to hospitality schools as well, and it's been a lot of fun. So thank you for that. Now, as far as the food that you're about to sample, or that this is my restaurant. So I'll tell you about the food, then I'll tell you about the slides. What you're having right now is a southern staple from the Carolinas. This is called shrimp and grits. And so what it is I guess you guys call it scampi. It's just chopped shrimp. We used a pork sausage, a sherry fennel broth over polenta that's made with a little cream and that. So it's real straightforward, but it's a very classic Southern American dish. So I hope you guys are enjoying. How is it? Is it? That's great news. All right, so now that weight's off my shoulders, we can move on. So my restaurant, Lucille's, it's been open for, no. Thank you very much.
Why?
Because I've been tasting it all day, so I'm sick of it. But my restaurant, I've been working on it for 5 years. We've been open for business for 3 years. Within that 3 years, we've been rated top 25 of restaurants in the country. It's top 10 in the state of Texas, and Texas is a state of close to 12 million people, and my city, Houston, it has 3.4 million people in it. So it's really a major accomplishment for us that we're very proud of. It's unlike other restaurants in really all the country of the U.S. This one is totally chef owned and operated. I financed I paid for everything in the restaurant through catering. I cooked for every component of my business with no money, no investors, no banking, no lending, nothing. And I designed the building myself. I designed the kitchen, selected all the wines, the cocktails, obviously the menu. And to have, to reach that level of recognition is really special for us. The restaurant's named after my great-grandmother, who was a chef and a pioneer. Yeah, there she is right there. That's Lucille, that's my great-grandmother. And so she was a chef and a pioneer that came up with these recipes over 100 years ago that really changed the culinary landscape in the country. We're talking around 1917, and she published her first cookbook in 1937, Lucille's Treasure Chest. So here you can see that some of her clients, her patrons, her regulars, included everybody from Joe Louis. I don't know, I'm sure you guys know who Joe Louis is. Martin Luther King, enough said about him, Muhammad Ali, Eleanor Roosevelt, and Lyndon Johnson. So she had two presidents that came to her regularly, along with a litany of other American icons. In our restaurant, and the reason why I named it after her is in Houston there are 11,000 restaurants. And there's a new one that opens up every day, and there's another one that closes every day. So it's a very competitive market, and to stay relevant, it helps to not only have a great product and concept, service, but a story goes a long way. And so this is a built-in story that's true, and it's American history, and she's an absolute legend. And so that's taken us, we've got a lot of, we've run a lot of miles based on my great-grandmother's notoriety alone, which is really special and a testament to her. What we do at the restaurant, there are two recipes that she was famous for that we showcase now. I see that you enjoyed it. Yes. That's great. Thank you for powering through that. There are two restaurants that we do at the restaurant. There are two recipes that we do at the restaurant. The chili biscuits and the hot roll mix. These are 100-year-old recipes. She invented the first hot roll mix in the country. It's essentially a yeast roll. So we make the yeast roll, and we make these things called chili biscuits, which sound ridiculous, but they're actually delicious. It's just the yeast roll. You scoop it out, you stuff a chili inside of it that's folded with dark chocolate, topped off with shredded cheddar cheese, and that's it. It's a perfect little one-bite hors d'oeuvre. And these are our best sellers now at my restaurant today, which again is a real testament to my great-grandmother's forward thinking and her creativity as a chef and a pioneer all those years ago. So here, I can't really see what it is. Oh, those are the chili biscuits that we were just discussing right there. And these are some of the things that we do. This is the shrimp and grits as we serve it in the restaurant. And another thing that we try to do at the restaurant, which makes everything fun, is that people always, when you go to any restaurant, you have certain expectations. You know what I mean? So when people see me, they have an expectation on what I'm going to put on the plate. So I try to play with that. I tease them with their expectations. So all my dishes have very simple titles: pork and beans, fish fry, duck, meat and potatoes. And so you read that, and you automatically think, okay, well, this seems interesting. And then you go in, and what we try to do is wow you with, and it's really, it's a decent showcase of it, I suppose. But we really try to wow them with our presentation, and it's all about getting those reactions from the guests. It's a huge part of what we do in the hospitality business. It's all about managing reactions. So in that aspect, I'm pretty happy with where we are. I don't know what else to tell you about myself outside that I've had a great time, and if you have any questions.
Are you married?
I am. I've been married for 5 years. My wife's in Canada right now. She's from Canada. With my two sons, I have a 6 and a 7-year-old. But as they say, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Kris kaže, ako imate neka pitanja, da slobodno ga pitate. On je ispričao, o svom doživljaju na turi kroz Balkan, gastronomskoj. Verujem da ste svi razumeli, pričao je o svom restoranu, o nasleđu, dakle, porodičnom i o specijalitetima koji se pripremaju u Houstonu, odnosno u njegovom restoranu, tako da ako neko ima pitanja ili neko pitanje sa Twittera, ja bih zamolila, evo ga, sad ćemo čuti. We have one question.
Hello. Have you tried our food and what are your first impressions?
Okay, so since I've been here, the itinerary has been pretty intense. Thank you very much, Maria. And this young lady right here, Vanya. Thank you for that. Last night I had a chance to go out to a restaurant. I can't remember the name of it. And with the amount of rakia that we drank, I won't remember the name of it. But it was...
in Belgrade.
Yeah, it's one of the... Yeah. I think it's the third oldest restaurant in the Boheme district. And so it's like really old school, classic, traditional Serbian food. And I was able to meet the chef. And I think it was like the front of the house manager. He took us on a great tour of the restaurant that turned into a tour of the city, which lasted forever, but I'm not complaining. I'm very happy to experience that. To answer your question, the food that I've had so far was, what's it, chirvapis?
Chirvapi, yes.
Yeah. I'm trying here. Those were delicious. The veal that we had was great. I don't know how they cook it, if they do it in like wood
Yes.
burning ovens or something like that, but it was like extremely tender. I've never had anything like it. It's meat forward. Who doesn't love meat? I'm from Texas, so I'm very happy with that. Yeah, but that's really all that I've had since I've been here. I haven't had much time, but we are going to a festival right after this to go try some delicious, interesting things that I won't tell you about yet. I'll tell you on one-on-one basis.
Thank you. Imamo li još pitanja? Imamo, i tamo imamo. Evo, samo sačekajte mikrofon, molim vas. We have
Where's your restaurant in Houston?
It's in the... Where are you from?
Well, I just moved back from Houston to Boulder, Colorado, but I go to Houston a lot, so.
Oh, okay, great. We're in the Museum District.
Which one?
The Museum District. So when was the last time you were in Houston?
April.
Oh, okay, yeah. So it's, you know where the Children's Museum is?
Yeah.
We're cat-a-corner to the Children's Museum, and you know what's happening into that neighborhood, how it's just completely turning itself over. And so there are actually 5 new restaurants that have opened up in the past year just in that area. So we were one of the first ones. But yeah, next time you go by, please.
We'll try it,
check us out. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hvala. Da li ima još pitanja? Iz publike? To bi bilo to, jel tako? Oh, okay.
Voila.
Compliments for shrimps and
Thank you
grits.
very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Vilijams. Ovo je bio gospodin Kristofer Vilijams. Oh. This is secret?
Yeah,
or?
sure. No, absolutely not. Actually, we just came up with that recipe based on the ingredients that we had available to us, which is completely different from what I use in my kitchen. So I'll gladly share the recipe. It's, I don't know what kind of sausage that was. It's some kind of pork sausage. It was a fresh sausage that we cook, and then after we cook it, we chop it. There is fresh fennel, carrots. You make a stock with onions, equal parts, onion, carrot, fennel, garlic. And then you add a little bit of white wine, shrimp shells, water, cook it until it turns, and tomatoes, fresh tomatoes. And then when you get the color of that broth that you had in the cup, it's done, strain it off. And then for the polenta, just cook the polenta the way you normally would, except I add milk, a lot of milk. And the shrimp, it's just shrimp, the sausage, garlic, and then add the broth to it, finish it off with butter. That's it.
Thank you very much. Dakle, nije komplikovano.
Thank you.
It's not complicated. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Thank you very much.